Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Sunday, the 4th of September, 2022. Welcome to the Observer Sudoku because it is a Sunday. The Guardian doesn't print on Sundays. What's happening in the world? Lots of bad things, I guess. But I just wanted to remind everybody to try to be happy, as happy as you possibly can. It's not always possible, I realize that, but try to take pleasure in something, at least a small thing, every day of your life, because we only have one life to live. And I know people sometimes are facing severe trouble. It could be financial hardship, it could be disability or pain or all kinds of things that stop people from having the perfect life. Well, nobody's ever going to have the perfect life, but how about just trying to enjoy as much of it as you can, because when it's gone, right? So that's just my small reminder for you to try to get as much happiness in this life as you can. Nobody's going to do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. Okay, this is the Observer Sudoku. The Observer tries to be inscrutable, I think, by not giving us any kind of rating for its puzzles. And so I usually give it a rating. So you, having clicked on this YouTube link, will have seen the rating. But I, having not played the puzzle yet, have absolutely no idea if this is an easy, medium, or hard puzzle. Or even an expert level puzzle. It could well be. I have no idea. So assuming that it is an easy level, I'm not assuming that, but I'm just in case it's an easy level puzzle, I should quickly explain the rules of Sudoku in case we get some beginners here. So you'll see these rows across, and the one thing they have in common is that there are 9 squares in each of these rows across. Now, what you will have noticed already is that some rows have maybe a single number like this, and some rows have multiple numbers, 1, 3, and 8. And here's another one, 7, 6, 4, and 2 already placed. But if you count up, you'll find that there are 9 squares. There are 9 squares in each of the columns down, and our job is to place digits 1 through 9, as they say in America, into those squares, which we sometimes call cells. Now, that's not the end of it, though, because we also have these small boxes, or blocks as I call them, and we also need to fit digits 1 to 9 in there. Now, a column like this already has a lot of numbers filled in, and a row like this is pretty sparse, only has 1 digit filled in. Okay, but our job is to complete the puzzle. Got it? Right, that was a bit long-winded, but anyway, let's get on and see what we can see. So let me start by saying this. We have a 1 in this column already. That means it cannot reappear in this column, so these 3 squares cannot be 1. We have a 1 in this column. It blocks all the way down here, so this square here can't be 1. We have a 1 in this row already, so when we direct it in this direction, push it in this direction, we will find that a 1 cannot appear here. So this one blocks these 3 squares, this one blocks this square, and this one blocks, well, 2 squares across here actually, but this is already blocked. And we already have a 5 in this square here, so the only square unaffected by those particular ones is here, and the digit 1 will fit there. And once you've found that single place where a number can go, you can place it immediately. You don't have to worry there might be something else that could go there. No, there is nothing else that could go there. This 5 blocks up this column here. We don't yet have a 5 in this block. We have 1, 3, 6, 7, and 9. No 5 yet, but this 5 stops all of these 3 squares from becoming a 5, and therefore the 5 will fit in there. Got the idea now? Good. So now we can get on and play the game. We have 2 blocking across this row and 2 blocking across this row, so a 2 will have to fit there. Now, usually when I see 3 empty squares like this within a block, I will search and see what's missing in case it helps us. And the missing numbers are 2, 4, and 8. And indeed it does help us. How does it help us? Because 4 and 8 are in the same row. So when we consider this square and we ask ourselves, can it be 4? The answer is no. Can it be 8? The answer is no. And there are only 3 possibilities. So it's not 4 and it's not 8. It has to be 2. Doesn't it? Now, actually, this 8 blocks. Oh no, sorry, almost did something, something silly. Let's try not to do silly things while playing Sudoku and being videoed at the same time. It's embarrassing when you mess it up. Right, where do we look next? The perennial cry of the Sudoku. Oh yeah, 8 is one of the missing numbers here, right? We're missing 4 and 8. We have to put them into these two squares. So whether the 8 appears in this square or this square doesn't matter. We certainly know 8 cannot be in this square because it's got to be blocked from this column. Now we have 8 blocking across here and across here like this. And so 8 must fit into that square there. We have 3 blocking down here, 3 blocking down here, and 3 across here. We don't yet have a 3 in this block here, so 3 must fit there. Now there are 3 missing numbers here, much like we did before. The missing numbers are 7, 8, and 9. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 7, 8, and 9 to get. And 7, 8, and 9 must fit into these 3 empty squares. And we look at this square here, and we ask ourselves, can it be a 7? And the answer is no. Can it be an 8? No, because 7 and 8 are in this both in this column, and therefore it has to be a 9, doesn't it? So then the missing squares down here will be 7 and 8, but we can't tell which is which from here. But when we see this kind of pattern, 2 empty squares within a box like this, and then if one of those columns or rows contains only 2 empty squares as well, like this, that has to be the same 2 numbers. So if this is 7 and 8, well then this will have to be 7 or 8 up here as well. Now we can see that it can't be an 8 because we've got an 8 here and an 8 here, 2 ways of blocking this. So we know that this is not an 8 and therefore must be the 7, and the 8 will be here and the 7 will be there. Now we have 7 blocking down these 2 columns, and we have 7 blocking across here, so the 7 fits into that square there. Let's have a look up here and see what we need still. So the missing numbers that fit into these 2 squares are 4 and 5. We don't know which is which, and the missing numbers that fit into these 2 squares are 6 and 9. And now we do have an intersecting 6, so we know this is not the 6. So the 6 goes here and 9 must be in that square there. Now usually when playing Sudoku, it doesn't matter about the level. We're normally given some gimmies, usually, and not always. There was one the other day which was lacking any help at the beginning, but in general we're given some kind of help at the beginning. It's a few easy ones. That doesn't mean to say that the whole game is going to be easy. We can't make that assumption. So we've got to battle on. So let's continue. 8 blocking down here, 8 blocking down here. What I mean is, if you're a newcomer to Sudoku, you might assume that because the first few numbers have been found fairly quickly, the whole game is going to be finished quickly. That may or may not be true. We simply don't know. 8 blocks across here, 8 blocks across here, and 8 blocks down here. So this would be an 8 here. Right, now I am going to tell you that I am sure that I can get this missing number here, but at the moment I have no idea what it is, but I know that I can get it, and I'm going to show you how I know. And now if you're a beginner, this might be a bit of something to think about, but anyway, let's if you're not a beginner, you'll probably know or understand why. So look, I see a 4, 5, and 6 in this row already, okay? So we know that these 2 squares cannot contain 4, 5, or 6. Do you agree? Right, that means that the 4, 5, and 6 are in these three squares here because they are not allowed here, right? 4, 5, and 6 go here. It doesn't matter whether you see any intersecting ones for the moment. Just take it, bear with me. So 4, 5, and 6 are here, and that means that we have to find the missing numbers here. Now, we may or may not be able to place them, but even if we can't place them, it doesn't matter. We can get this one. 4, 5, and 6 are here. So the missing numbers here have to be 1 and 9. I'll come back to this in a moment. So if this is 1 and 9, we've got 1, 2. Do we have a 3 anywhere? No, we don't. Okay, so in fact the 3 must be in that square. Now actually I might have noticed it by going like this. I didn't see it like that because I wasn't looking for it like that. I was actually looking, because I saw the 4, 5, and 6 blocking along this section here and understanding that they had to appear in these three squares. That's why I knew that I could then work out these two numbers and therefore work out this missing number. So that's a kind of a logic technique, right? As opposed to actually looking for the number, just working on the idea. Now we know this is 1 and 9. Now we do in fact have a blocking 1 here, so we know that the 1 goes there and the 9 will be in this square here. Okay. Now I said 4, 5, and 6 are in these squares. In fact, we have a 6 blocking there, so we know that the 6 is only available in those two squares there. But the 4 and the 5 we don't know anything about just yet, so we have to come back to that a bit later. Where to now? So at this stage it might be a good idea to click on some digits one by one and see the patterns. We've put in several numbers already, so the possibilities are fewer, and that allows us, now that we have the 1 placed here, we can see how it blocks up this column, and we have a 1 blocking up here and the 1 across. So we can see now that a 1 actually fits there. A moment ago we might not have been able to see that, but we certainly can now. The missing numbers in this row are 3 and 5, but we can't tell which is which just yet, so we have to come back later. So let's continue with our digit search, shall we? Okay, can't do much else there. Now I'm just kind of running my eyes across, looking for anything that might be easy. I'm not doing any kind of great detailed examination at the moment. I'm just looking for stuff that's going to be easy. And I have found something. Okay, so this is what I discovered. My eye runs the 5 along this row, and that means that 5 has got to be in one of these two squares. Do you agree, right? Because it's blocked from these 3 squares. So we've got 5 in one of these 2 squares. It blocks down here like this. So we know that this square here cannot be 5 because we've got 5 in one of those 2 squares. But we need a 5 in this row, so immediately we can place a 5 there. And now we also know that we only need one number for this row, which is 4, so we know that the 4 fits into that square there. I will examine the missing numbers here, although I don't think we can get them. They are in fact 5, 7, and 9, and we have a 9 here, but we don't know about the 5 or the 7, so we have to leave that for just now and come back later. And in fact I'm going to go on my digit search again, and I'm going to start again because I've forgotten where I was. I can't remember how far I got, but anyway, it doesn't matter, because when you if you've changed some things in the grid change it as well, and they're worth looking at again anyway. Like I said, I'm basically looking for easy stuff still. There may not be any more easy numbers just yet, but Right, so I think that the easy ones are probably done. So now we need to look and look more seriously at what's possible in what locations. Um, and I don't think that, so. So I'm immediately going to say that the game is harder than an easy level game. Okay, I'm going to suggest that it's at least a medium level game. Uh, just because otherwise you'd probably be, if it's an easy level game, you should be able to get there without any kind of really serious thinking about the whole thing. So I'm going to say we've gone a step above easy level. That's what I'm going to say. Now let's examine. Missing from this row are 3, 5, and 6. Oh, we have a 3, we have a 5, and we have a 6. And they're all mutually exclusive, so that's no good, is it? Um, hmm. Okay, so it's definitely going to take some thinking about. Hmm. Okay. Brain work. Brain work is necessary. I'm going to go through again, this time looking for things in a slightly different way. Um, Up here we have ones in those squares. Here we have ones like this. So I don't think we can do too much there. This middle block is one that is kind of um, concerning me. I see the ones there, I see sevens, everything here. All right, I'll try to remember the stuff as I go along. Now, if you're used to writing in candidates, well, so am I. But some people in the comments section have requested that I try to go as far as possible before writing in pencil marks, and so that's why there's a delay. If you're new to this channel and you haven't been reading the comments sections uh, of the last few months, let's say. Um, okay, in this middle block, the 2's go there. Um, 3's appear like this. So we have extend it up here because I'll go around the grid and show you what else is possible. If you're wondering, you hear people speaking a language you don't understand, that's because I live in Thailand and you can probably hear my neighbors chatting in the background. No, I'm not getting anything there. Oh, I looked at this before. I said the 5 was blocking down here, then I didn't bother to go up and notice that actually 5 is one of the missing numbers from this row as well. I looked down here and said 5 blocks this square down here. I didn't notice that it also blocks this square here where we need a 5. And now I see it. Okay, 5 is there, and then the 3 will go in that square. So 3 blocking down here, 3 going up here, and the 3 in there. Maybe it will turn out to be an easy level game after all. Maybe I was overestimating its difficulty rating just because I hadn't seen something fairly simple. I'm not sure though. 3 will go there, of course. And 3 is now complete. We have 3 in every block. If you're a newcomer to Sudoku, we have 3s now in every block, so we don't need to think about them anymore. Right, let's have another look at this block. This block here has been the one that's really bugged me, actually. I thought I'd be able to find something in here, and I did, but not exactly in the way that I thought. Okay, what else do we now need? Okay, this 6 blocks this square. We don't have a 6 in this row yet, so the 6 appears here. And the last number to get in this row is 5. Okay. Now we have 3 numbers missing here, and the missing numbers are 1, 2, and 7. We have a 1 and a 7, so much like we did before, we ask ourselves, can this square be 1? No. 7? No. And therefore it must be 2. Okay, we have 5 blocking across here and 5 up here, so that puts a 5 into that square there. Now earlier on I think we discovered that this is a 4 and 8 missing here, right, for this block here. And if you remember what I said to you earlier on, that if you find 2 squares missing within a block like this, but one of them it has 2 squares missing in a row or a column, and here we have the same idea again, that has to be the same 2 digits. So this is 4 and 8, so this has to be 4 or 8. So this can't be 8 here, so that has to be 4. The 8 will be here, and the 4 will be there. 8 blocks down here, 8 blocks up here, this will be the 8. 2 blocks this square, and 2 goes here, and the 9 is in this square here. Six now blocking down here, so this will be our 6, and one number to complete this block here is the 4. Now we have one empty square in this column, and the missing number therefore will be our 4, and this 4 blocks across here, giving us a 4 there. 5 is the last number we need there. 1 digit missing from this column. I think I'm going to give it an easy level after all. I think it was only I just missed something fairly obvious, so I think it is an easy level actually. Feel free to disagree with me though. Plenty will, I'm sure. Right, what else can we see now? Oh, this 1 up here, of course, this is a 1 here now, and the 7 is there. So 7 blocking up here and 7 across here puts a 7 into that square. 7 down here, 7 down here means this is a 7. There's only 1 digit missing from this column. I believe it's a 9. Okay, and that 9 will then block across here, giving us a 9 in that square. The last number to fit here is 2. 2 blocks across, so the 2 goes there. Now we don't have a 1 in that block yet, but this 1 means you can't be a 1, you must be a 1, and 5 will finish it. 5 stops this square from becoming a 5 down in the bottom row. 5 will in fact appear here, and to finish today's observer, I'm going to call it easy level, though it took me a long time, although I was doing some explanation and teaching there. Easy / medium level, I don't know. Something like that, borderline. Easy plus, there we go. How about that? Easy plus. That's the first time, you know, like you get A plus or something like that. I'm going to call that easy plus. Right, that's it. Hope to see you later on for some tougher Sudoku. Bye bye.